The Tesla Model 3 sitting in your neighbor's driveway costs more per month than their rent used to be 5 years ago. They make $70,000 a year. They told you it was a great investment. They mentioned the gas savings. They said something about tax credits. What they didn't tell you is that they're now spending 43% of their take-home income on a car. This is the math nobody wants you to do. Wait until you see what happens in year 3. Let's talk about Alex. Alex is 32, software developer, makes exactly $70,000 a year. Not rich, not poor, somewhere in that vast American middle where you can afford most things, but nothing feels easy. One day, Alex decides to buy a Tesla Model 3, the long-range version, $62,000 before taxes and fees. It's 2024. Everyone at work has one. The gas savings seem real. The technology feels like the future. Alex does what millions of Americans do. He finances it. And that's where this story stops being about a car and starts being about a trap designed so elegantly that most people don't realize they're inside it until the walls start closing in. $70,000 sounds like a lot until you actually break it down. After federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, and Medicare, Alex takes home about $51,000 a year, $4,250 a month. Now watch what happens when a Tesla enters this equation. The Model 3 long range costs $62,000. Alex puts down $5,000. That's most of his emergency fund, but the dealer says it'll lower the monthly payment. He finances $57,000 at 7.2% interest over 72 months. The monthly payment is $943, but that's not the actual cost. The $900 payment is just the beginning. Insurance on a Tesla for a 32-year-old male in most states runs between $200 and $300 a month. Let's say $250. Electricity costs vary, but if you're not charging at home with solar panels, you're looking at around $70 a month. Some months more, some less. Registration and taxes in year 1 add another $250 a month when averaged out. Then there's the hidden cost nobody mentions in the showroom: depreciation. A Tesla Model 3 loses approximately 15% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot, another 10 to 12% in year 1. By year 3, you're down 35% from purchase price. But Alex doesn't think about depreciation because depreciation is invisible. It doesn't show up on a monthly statement. It's just money evaporating into the air while you sleep. Add it all up: $943 for the loan, $250 for insurance, $70 for charging, $250 monthly average for registration and fees, $1,513 a month. Alex takes home $4,250. That's 35.6% of his income on a car. There's an old rule in personal finance: never spend more than 15% of your gross income on a car. Some advisors say 20% max if you absolutely must. Alex is spending 35.6% of his net income. That's not close to the rule. That's in a different universe than the rule. But here's the thing: Alex isn't stupid. Alex isn't reckless. Alex did research. Alex watched YouTube videos about Tesla ownership. Alex read articles about the total cost of ownership being lower than gas cars. And technically, some of that is true. A comparable gas-powered BMW 3 Series would cost more in fuel over 5 years. The Tesla needs less maintenance, no oil changes, fewer brake replacements because of regenerative braking. But there's a reason the math works on paper and fails in real life. The problem with every Tesla cost analysis you've ever seen is that it assumes a perfect scenario. It assumes you keep the car for 8 years. It assumes nothing major breaks. It assumes you charge at home. It assumes your insurance doesn't skyrocket after one accident. It assumes your income stays stable or grows. Real life doesn't work like that. Year 2, Alex gets into a minor accident. Not his fault. The repair takes 8 weeks because Tesla parts are backordered. His insurance premium jumps $40 a month. Year 3, his battery range starts declining faster than expected. He's now getting 210 miles per charge instead of the advertised 350. Tesla says it's within normal parameters. There's nothing to fix. Year 4, he gets a notification about his battery coolant system needing service. Cost? $1,800. not covered under warranty because it's considered wear and tear. The gas savings he calculated assumed gas at $4 a gallon. In year 2, it drops to $3.20. The math changes, but the car payment doesn't. Meanwhile, his rent goes up, his health insurance premium increases, his student loan forbearance ends. The Tesla payment that seemed manageable in year 1 now feels like an anchor tied around his budget. Here's what's really happening. Alex is driving a car that makes him look like he's doing better than he is. The Tesla signals success. It signals environmental consciousness. It signals that you're the kind of person who can afford the future. But behind that signal is a checking account that's hovering dangerously close to zero every month. This is the opposite of wealth. Wealth is the gap between what you have and what you spend. Wealth is options. Wealth is the ability to lose your job and not immediately panic. The real cost shows up when you try to escape. Let's say year 4, Alex realizes this isn't sustainable. He wants out. He owes $31,000 on the loan. The car is now worth $38,000 in a good market, maybe $35,000 realistically. So he has some equity. He could sell it, pay off the loan, pocket a few thousand. Except he can't really do that because he still needs a car, and anything cheaper than a Tesla is going to be a gas car with its own set of costs, or a used car with uncertainty. So he's stuck in what economists call a commitment trap. The only way out is through. Keep paying, keep hoping nothing major breaks, keep driving past the gas stations feeling a tiny bit smug, even though the math is absolutely destroying him. And here's the darker part. Alex's story is not unusual. As of 2024, the average new car payment in America is $736 a month. The average used car payment is $525. People making $70,000 a year are signing up for these numbers every single day. The car industry has normalized financial insanity. Let's zoom out. Tesla sold 1.8 million cars in 2023. The average Tesla buyer in the US makes about $130,000 a year, but that average is skewed by high earners buying the Model X and Model X. The Model 3 buyer looks a lot like Alex, and the Model 3 was designed specifically to be the accessible Tesla, the one that normal people could buy. Elon Musk promised a $35,000 Tesla in 2017. It never really materialized. The cheapest Model 3 you can buy today starts at around $42,000, and with any options, you're past $50,000, and most people don't buy the base model. So what was marketed as the people's electric car became another expensive vehicle that people stretch to afford. And the loans are structured to hide just how much you're stretching. 72-month car loans used to be rare. Now they're standard. Some lenders offer 84 months. That's 7 years. You know what else takes 7 years? Most people's tenure at a job. The average American switches jobs every 4 years, moves every 5, gets married, divorced, has kids, changes careers. Life is chaotic and unpredictable. But the car loan is fixed. It's there every month for 6 years, for 7. And here's the truly perverse part. The longer the loan, the more you pay in interest, but the lower the monthly payment, so it feels affordable. $943 sounds borderline doable, but the total interest paid over 72 months on that $57,000 loan at 7.2%? $12,000. Alex pays $69,000 for a car that was worth $62,000 when new and $38,000 by the time it's paid off. That's not a purchase, that's wealth extraction. Let's run a different scenario. Alex takes that $5,000 down payment and instead of buying a Tesla, buys a $15,000 used Honda Civic, pays cash. He invests the $943 he would have spent on the Tesla payment into an index fund averaging 7% annual returns. After 6 years, he has $78,000, and he still has a functioning car. It's not exciting, it doesn't impress anyone, it doesn't feel like the future, but it's the difference between building wealth and destroying it. Of course, nobody makes financial decisions in a vacuum. Alex didn't buy a Tesla just because he wanted a car. He bought it because of what it represents: status, consciousness, being on the right side of history. There's tremendous social pressure to buy electric, to be green, to signal that you care about the planet. And Tesla has masterfully positioned itself as the only car company that truly represents that future. Buying a Nissan Leaf doesn't give you the same cultural capital. Buying a Chevy Bolt doesn't make the same statement. Tesla understood that cars stopped being purely functional decades ago. They're identity markers, and identity is expensive. Here's what nobody wants to say out loud. If you make $70,000 a year, you cannot actually afford a $60,000 Tesla. You can finance one, you can make the payments work on paper, you can cut other parts of your budget, but affording something doesn't mean being able to make the monthly payment. It means being able to absorb the full cost without destabilizing your financial life. And the gap between those two definitions is where most Americans now live. We've built an entire economy around helping people buy things they can't afford by spreading the pain out over enough months that it becomes tolerable. Cars, houses,
education, all of it structured the same way. Make the monthly payments small enough and people stop doing the real math. Alex's Tesla is actually a perfect microcosm of American consumer debt. As of 2024, Americans owe $1.6 trillion in auto loans. Average loan term is 68 months. Average interest rate is 7.1%. And unlike mortgage debt or even student loan debt, car debt is secured by an asset that's guaranteed to lose value. Your house might appreciate. Your education might increase your earnings. Your car will be worth less next year than it is today. That's not a possibility. That's physics. Yet we treat car loans as normal, safe, responsible even. Banks love them because default rates are relatively low and they can repossess the asset. Dealers love them because higher monthly payments mean bigger commissions. Manufacturers love them because longer loans mean people can afford more expensive cars. The only person who doesn't benefit is the buyer. Let's project forward. It's 2031. Alex is 39. He finally paid off the Tesla 2 years ago. The car has 160,000 miles on it. The battery capacity is at 73% of original. He's had to replace the main screen once. The air suspension failed. The door handle stopped working. Total maintenance and repairs over the 9 years he owned it? $11,000. The car is now worth maybe $12,000. He paid $69,000 in loan payments plus $11,000 in repairs, $80,000 total, for a car now worth $12,000. Compare that to the Honda Civic scenario. He drove the Civic for 9 years, put maybe $7,000 into maintenance, sold it for $5,000. Net cost, $17,000. And he has $78,000 in investments. That's a $91,000 difference. And it gets worse when you multiply this across millions of people. What happens when an entire generation is car poor? When the average American is spending 15 to 20% more than they should on vehicles, that money has to come from somewhere. It comes from retirement savings, from emergency funds, from being able to take risks like starting a business or changing careers. There's a concept in economics called opportunity cost. Every dollar you spend on one thing is a dollar you can't spend on something else. When you're spending $18,000 a year on a car, you're not spending it on anything else. Not on your kids' education, not on healthcare, not on building a buffer against the next recession. And here's the truly insane part. The car might be the thing that makes it impossible to get to work to earn the money to pay for the car. It's a perfect loop. Let's address the electric vehicle environmental argument. Yes, driving a Tesla produces fewer emissions than driving a gas car. Over the lifetime of the vehicle, even accounting for battery production, it's better for the environment. But you know what's even better for the environment? Not buying a new car at all. Keeping your existing car for another 5 years. Buying used. Taking public transportation. Moving closer to work. The greenest car is the one that doesn't get manufactured. Yet we've created this cultural narrative that buying a Tesla is an environmental act, that you're saving the planet by going into debt for an expensive vehicle. That's not environmentalism, that's marketing.
So why do people like Alex keep doing this? Because the alternative feels like losing. It feels like being left behind, like admitting you can't afford the future everyone else seems to be living in. There's a psychological phenomenon called reference anxiety. You don't measure your success against an absolute standard. You measure it against the people around you. If your coworkers drive Teslas and you drive a 10-year-old Corolla, you feel poor even if you're not. And that feeling is powerful enough to override the math. Alex is still driving his Tesla. He's in year 5 now. The car has some quirks. The range isn't what it used to be. But it's paid down to about $20,000 owed. He's past the halfway point. He'll probably keep it until it's paid off, maybe longer. At this point, the sunk cost is too large to walk away from. And honestly, some days he still loves it. The acceleration, the tech, the fact that he never has to stop at a gas station. But late at night, when he's looking at his bank account, he wonders what life would look like if he'd made a different choice. If he'd bought something boring and invested the difference. If he'd prioritized financial freedom over the feeling of driving something impressive. The thing about financial decisions, you never get to see the alternate timeline. You only get to live in the one you chose. Alex chose the Tesla, and the Tesla chose what he couldn't afford to do with the rest of his life. The question isn't whether you can afford a Tesla on $70,000 a year. It's what you're giving up to make it work, and whether the answer to that question is something you can live with for the next 72 months. If this video made you rethink any financial decision you've been considering, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns of the math nobody wants you to do, and drop a comment telling me what car you drive and whether you think it was worth it. I read every single